G'day and welcome to the Gamer's Manifesto. Today we're going to do more math just for fun. Today I'm looking at Skyvessels and conducting an initial damage and value analysis. These are the real centerpiece models that attract people to the faction. Some of the most unique and iconic units in Age of Sigmar. I'm not a great painter now and certainly wasn't when I picked up Caradron Overlords as my first main army. I'm wincing looking at some of that chunky paint, but at least I think I can be pretty proud of my Highland bases. These remain some of my favourite models. The Ironclad had no hope of fitting into my $5 lightbox. There are three different Skyvessels available to the KO: the Gunhauler, Frigate and Ironclad. The combat test consists of one round of shooting, followed by a charge and round of combat. The value score considers average damage output and effective wounds. It also includes some consideration of bomb abilities, which cause mortal wounds. First up, the Gunhauler. The changes to the Gunhauler aren't too significant, but they're all positive ones for just 10 points more. 170 points gets you the same 10 wounds, but now on a 3-up save, and it still doesn't degrade. You still give the bigger ships a 6-up ward. Bombs are now 4 dice on a 4-up if you move over an enemy with a normal move or run. And the Gunhauler is still pretty quick at 12 inches, with once per game 18 inch, and this can be increased even further through an article or engine work. Shrapnel shot and shell both became more reliable, but overall damage is still a little underwhelming. But with lucky shots, you can snipe or finish off foot heroes. Shrapnel is the best option, and the value score assumes you deal 2 wounds from bomb racks or an engine work. It does include the largely irrelevant boarding weapons. Gunhauler engine works are all good options, becoming faster with plus D3 or 2 D3 inch movement at the risk of a wound. Once per game mortal wounds on the charge, 2-up damage equal to the roll, so basically a d6. Or you can become a transport, fitting 6 inside. Carrying some riggers would make it a real combat threat with lots of healing. Still a neat high mobility unit, but might continue to struggle to make the cut unless an engine work is invested to enable a specific strategy, or if you're using many of them in a meme or skew list. The difference there being dependent on if you're successful or not. Of note, now that Fly High is a KO allegiance ability, Gunhaulers lost some of their value as an ally option. The Arcanaut Frigate. The Frigate got the most significant changes, and they're really interesting ones. The shooting profile got more reliable, and the shrapnel shot is still the best option if you're in range. Capable of thinning out a screen, but not quite enough to finish one off, which is a little unfortunate. The Skyhook does 6 damage to monsters, and if you get a hit, then on a 4-up, that monster also can't do monstrous rampages. This is relevant, but the Skyhook needed to retain a charge bonus to really get a look in. 300 points gets you 15 wounds on a 3-up. You can transport 12 models, and counts as 5 for objective control. Its bomb abilities and melee profile start to degrade after 6 wounds taken. Engine works 2 are still a little underwhelming for the Frigate. When destroyed, you can do D3 mortals to nearby units, friends included. Fun, but the way frigates now work, you might actually have a lot of nearby friends on the ground. Sky mines still let you possibly do D3 or do D6 to an enemy flying unit. Optional parachutes, which is fun to think about, but not that useful in game. And plus 2 inches move, which might actually be the best one now that Fly High is restricted to a command ability. Now what the Frigate really has going for it is the good quality bomb racks and built-in battle ram as part of the assault boat ability. Doing 4-up mortals on 8 dice each. The assault boat ability also lets units disembark after the Frigate charges, if they can be set up within 3 inch of the enemy. They still count as having charged, and they also gain strike first. Not only is this excellent for that combat phase, but it's a good way to complete the boots on the ground battle tactic. That is to get 3 units out of boats and into enemy territory, and then set yourself up for mobilize the fleet on the following turn, which is to put 3 units back into a boat. The rather low value of 5.2 includes either the bombing run or ramming mortals, but not both. I know a lot of people, including top players, are excited about the Frigate, good mobility at 12 inches which doesn't degrade, and can be increased to 16 inch with an article and engine work, and the possibility of a 3d6 charge through a footnote. 2 frigates leaves you with plenty of points for wardens and riggers and real alpha strike potential. Here's a cheeky list leaning into 2 fully loaded frigates. That's 9 balloon boys on board each and 3 heroes each. It can be any skyport of preference because riggers fulfill battle line, but if you choose Zon, you can swap 3 of the riggers to wardens. It can be a double battle regiment or even double warlord with sharpshooters. I'll leave the enhancement choices up to you. Time will tell if this is a meme list or legitimate strategy that can be optimized. Now for the Ironclad, the big boy. It has the option of a sky cannon with 2 firing modes, the Great Volley Cannon or Skyhook. The Skyhook is the same as the frigates with the exception of wounding on a 2, making it very similar to a cannon shell. It does d6 damage or 6 versus a monster and a 4 up to disable rampages if you hit. Again, with no charge bonus, it just doesn't come into the conversation anymore. The volley cannon is very interesting. 4d6 shots, 3s, 3s, rend 1, damage 1. Although it's not as reliable or versatile compared to the sky cannon, it does average higher, and there are situations where pure weight of shots is favourable. It has double the potential damage if you really high roll it. The Ironclad has 8 carbine shots and introduces a new profile, Aether Shock Torpedoes, for attacks at d3 damage. 20 wounds on a 3 up, lower speed at 10 inch, and this does degrade once it's taken 10 wounds. It's a real clown car, able to transport 22 models, and there's a good chance that 15 of those are Thunderers. Good quality bombs, and some interesting and fun engine work options. 500 points is a big ask even for a 20 wound model. It does sneak past the critical point where you can expect to shoot screens off the table and then be free to charge into the more important units, or it can almost certainly snipe a Galician champion that's been separated from battle line protection. Ramming damage for the Ironclad is including the battle ram engine work, which is 4 up models equal to your charge roll. If you're bringing an Ironclad for an Alpha Strike list, I think this is the best option. You're also highly likely to utilise there's no reward without risk for a 3d6 charge, so I've partially normalised this between a 2d6 and 3d6 for 5 models. I'd really love to be able to field one of each ship in a 2k list, but I think the Ironclad just leaves you short of options for other bodies. It requires an engine work investment to match the built-in impact hits of the frigate, and ultimately comes out as a low value pick outside of a specific strategy that requires the higher transport capacity. If you have the time to paint one, it's going to look excellent on a shelf for now. So that's my quick analysis of our Skyvessel options. The new book goes on pre-order today, and we're seeing more and more official rules articles from the Warhammer community team. I'm going to wait for the official release before conducting the hero review, as it will take some time to go through all 10 options, as well as considering command traits and artifact combinations. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe if you'd like to see more content, and let me know your thoughts in the comments section. This has been the Gamer's Manifesto, and I'll catch you next time.